Okay. So, for any of you who remember last week, we kind of finished off talking about like the pitcher and the catcher. So this week we are going to be talking about batting, offense, and kind of finishing up our baseball lesson. So for batting, each batter gets up to 3 strikes or 4 balls. 3 strikes is an out. You'll get struck out if you get 3 strikes. 4 balls is a walk, and if you get walked in baseball, you just go to first base. So if the pitcher pitches in the strike zone or the batter swings, that equals a strike. And if the pitcher pitches out of the strike zone, then that is what is considered a ball. And there are 9 batters in the lineup. So now we're going to talk a little bit about what the strike zone is. So the older strike zone used to be, if you see my cursor, used to kind of be the top of the pants to a little below the knees. And it kind of wasn't exactly centered over home plate. It was kind of shifted a little. And so now what the official strike zone is it's still a little below the knee. And then it's kind of the midpoint. It kind of looks like it's a little under your elbow. And it's centered directly over home plate. So it's not kind of moved over how the older strike zone was. So now we're going to talk about types of hits. So you can get a single, which means you get to the first base. You can get a double, which gets you to the second base. You can also get a triple, which gets you to the third base. Or you can even get a home run. This is when you either hit the ball over the fence, if you were playing like, like recreation league or, in high school, and then if you were in like the major leagues, you might, hit it into like the stands, and that would be a home run. Or if you're able to run around all 4 of the bases at one time, that is also kind of what a home run is. Now we're going to talk about bunting. So bunting is it's used to move a runner to the next base. So if you have someone on like first or second base, you generally bunt so you can get someone moved to another base. And how you do this is you just, like in the picture, you put the bat in front of home plate and you like tap or push the ball down one of the baselines. You want to make sure that you get it on the correct side of the baseline, because if you get it on the outside of the baseline, kind of going toward the dugout, then it'll be a foul ball. Like it says, you generally, tap, push. There's really very little effort into it. You just have to make sure you get the bat right at the right place in front of home plate. So stealing a base is high risk and high reward. So it's high risk because, if you can't steal the base and you can't get back, then you're out. But it's high reward because you can keep stealing the bases and get closer to home plate and score a point. Like it says, it's used to move the runner to the next base. What the runner would do is the runner will start with the lead and they'll kind of time it so they could run to the next base when the pitcher starts moving toward home plate. So once the pitcher kind of starts throwing, then the runner will try to start running to the next base. And what will happen is the catcher will attempt to throw out the runner. So the catcher could see first, second, and third base as the pitcher is starting to throw. What the catcher will do is the catcher will kind of have, the eye on the ball that the pitcher's throwing, and kind of their eye on the runners to see if they can kind of help, get one of them out. So then we have the umpires. So the umpires, when you think of other sports, they're like referees. So the umpires enforce all the rules of the game. You have a home plate umpire, which will call the balls, the strikes, and the outs at home plate. They have to be very good at, acknowledging and recognizing the strikeout zone, or the strike zone. And they also keep track of the official lineup, any substitutes, the score. And then you'll also have field umpires, which will call fair and foul balls. Like I said, you have the baseline. The baseball, if it's on kind of like the inside of the line, kind of toward the field, it's fair. If it's on the outside of the line, more toward like the dugout, it's a foul ball. The field umpire will also call any outs and like safes in the field. So if a player's trying to run to first base and it's kind of like who got there first? The field umpire will be the one to make the decision. So then you also have coaches. The coaches make most of the decisions. They make the decisions on lineups and positions. They'll kind of give hand signs for strategies during the game. If you've ever seen like MLB games, if you watch them, sometimes you can kind of see the players looking at the coaches, and the coaches will kind of give them like hand signals, and then they'll do whatever the hand signals tell them from there. So these are some terms to know about baseball. So you can have a double play, which is when there's 2 outs made in one play. So you could have, let's see, if a player hits the ball and someone in the outfield catches it, and then they throw it to, one of the bases that another runner's trying to run to, then that's where you get a double play. Or if someone strikes out, but while one of those players is trying to strike out, one of their teammates is trying to run and steal a base, then the catcher could kind of, see that and then throw the ball and try to get them out. You can also have a triple play, which is really rare. It's when 3 outs are made in one play. The only way I would see this happening, and you'd have to be super, super quick with it, is if someone hit a ball up in the air and an outfielder or even an infielder, someone caught it, then they threw it to one base and then threw it to another base and kind of got 1, 2, 3 out. You'd have to be super quick with it, and that's why it is very rare. You also have RBI, which is runs batted in. These are statistics for like hitters. So if you're up to bat and you have someone on second and third base, and if you hit a triple, which means you'll get to third base, then you'll get 2 RBIs because the person on second base and the person on third base hopefully got in. So you would get 2, and that you'd say you'd have 2 RBIs for that one, hit. And then you also have home run, like we had discussed. It is when you're able to hit the baseball and you're able to make it around all the way, go first, second, third, and get to home plate. So that is all we have for our baseball PowerPoint. Does anyone have any questions, comments, anything they'd like to say about baseball? Anyone, anyone who plays baseball, do you know your stats for baseball? Any information you want to give us, tell us. This is your time right now. I'll give you guys about 2 minutes. If I don't hear anything in about 2 minutes, then we will get moved on to our workout. So if no one has any comments, questions, or anything they'd like to say about baseball, that's perfectly fine. Now we are going to begin our workout here really shortly. So what you need to do is get to a safe place to work out. Make sure there's nothing really close by you or anything. If you need to modify anything in the workout, that is perfectly fine. Feel free to do that. This is, like I said, it's kind of like an all-in-one workout video. It's strength and conditioning. It has a warm-up, workout, and a cool-down all in one. So get to your workout spots, and I'm going to share that here right now.
Do you have to, like, show your face?
No. You are perfectly fine to have your camera off. You don't have to. It's completely up to you. Any other questions? No?
No, that's it, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I am going to share your workout video. Like I said, it's a warm-up, workout, and cool-down all in one. And we are going to start that.
Hey guys.